Welcome to the show. It's What the Fuck Tuesday, which we come here on Tuesdays. Look at my sunglasses. I forgot to take them off. We come here on Tuesdays to read the advice submission letters that have come in. My cousin goes through them and she selects a group of them that she thinks kind of make an exciting show or that go well together or that address the issues a lot of people have. And that's how we do it. So we always have lately, we've always have 25 questions. And yep, nothing different today. 25 questions that have been sent in advance. So this is not the show where you ask your question and get it answered here on the air. This is a show where people send their questions in advance. So if that's something that sounds interesting to you, you have an issue you want some advice on, look in the show description down below. And if you're on YouTube, I'm not sure where it is. I think it's on YouTube and Twitch. I'm not sure what's on the other channel. And anyway, you'll see a link for the advice submission form. Just click that, fill out the form, and press send. That's all you got to do to it. That's all there is to it. So, hey, you guys, I see all my usual and customary folks up in here and a few new people. But, welcome everybody. We're going to get started with these 25 long ass question. Okay, let me see. Where am I going to put this? Okay, over here. Here we go. Let's get started. First, let me turn on my light. See? I'm like, I can't see. Here we go. All right. This is a young lady in the 30 to 35 age group from Austin, Texas. She says, "Hey, Deb, I found you on YouTube about 2 years ago and I love your channel. This is my first time writing to you with a question. Well, anybody, really. My boyfriend and I have been together for around 10 years. He pays for his phone, rent, insurance, etc. Our shared car, we have two. I pay for my half, so that's even. He works in landscaping. We used to work together, but I have a different job now. I work from home. He buys groceries, which is about $300 a month, sometimes less, never more. Because I work from home, I do the cooking and cleaning, organizing, well, everything. He has two chores, cat litter and to clean the shower. I always end up cleaning the shower, and I've had allergies when I end up doing the cat litter. He always throws in my face that he pays for groceries, so I offer to pay half, which I have no problem. But he refuses because I'm paying half. He has to pull his share around the house. It then turns into a huge fight now that I'm always home and that I shouldn't be complaining. I feel like a maid, a cook, a mother, a banker. When I say something, it's always you ask too much. I'm trying to relax. Something. I'm tired of him always having to always ask him to pull his share. Our storage unit and insurance comes off my card. He owes me about $3,000. Oh, hell no, his shit will be sold at auction. He says it's because I don't help. That's why he owes me so much. I've done everything but pay myself what he owes me. Like I'm tired. And to anyone who may ask if I talk to him about this, it's either he says I'll try better or it's I don't do things because you nag or you want too much and always a fight. Then it brings up things when I say on topic because I deal with one issue at a time. He keeps on going. He keeps going, making me out to be the bad guy. So I feel like it's me. And I finally, after all these years, I need someone else's opinion. Well, it sounds, my dear, like you are being horribly gaslighted and you're being taken advantage of financially, like no joke. Now, if I were you, this is what I would do. This is how I would handle this. I would go and I would get my stuff out of the storage unit. Okay, I would put my stuff in a different storage unit that's only under my name. And then I would take his storage unit off of my card, tell the people you're not going to pay for it anymore, and you don't really give a shit what happens to the stuff in there because it's not going to be your stuff. So then you could just tell them, I took your storage stuff off of my card since you owe me $3,000 and don't want to pay me. And understand I'm going to take you to small claims court to get my damn money. And I don't care if they sell your stuff because that's what's going to happen. I'm not paying for your stuff anymore. Now, if he has a problem with that, then you just tell him to get out then, right? Because you don't have to live with him. I mean, I spent $300 a month. I spent about $500 a month on groceries and miscellaneous food products, spices and stuff like that for me. And there's nobody in my house but me. I spend hella money. But I I have 2 cabinets full of spices because I like to cook, from all over the world. And different countries use different kind of spices. Whatever I decide, if I'm gonna cook Jamaican food, I'm gonna cook Caribbean food, I'm gonna cook African food, I'm gonna cook Chinese food, Japanese food, Korean food. I have all the spices already in my cabinet. I know that's a hot mess and most people don't have that. And I spend hella money on that stuff. So I'm not throwing it away. But this he thinks because he pays $300 a month and because he goes in half on the stuff that he uses, like lights, rent, phone, and all this kind of stuff, that you supposed to be maid service. I wouldn't do shit around that house. I wouldn't care if Ben and his whole family moved up in there. That's just how it would be. Ben, I don't know if you guys know that movie. When was that movie made? In the 80s? Anyway, it was about this rat, and the rat was no joke. Ben was gangster as hell, and he led a whole pack of rats. You guys got to look that movie up on Tubi or one of them old kind of stations if you don't know anything about the movie Ben, and see Ben. Ben put in some work. Ben was no joke. Okay, that's how I would feel if Ben moved in. I'd be like, "Hi, have a seat." Well, dude is acting like, he's got some kind of maid service and live in coochie and he just feels like he's paying this little Mickey Mouse $300. That's all he should do. So I'm telling you, you're gonna have to stop filling in the blanks for him. Just stop. Don't tell him that he can buy his own groceries from now on and you'll buy yours. And then you start looking for a place to move because what you're doing here, I don't know, what did you say? You've been with this fool for 10 years. You've been dealing with this for 10 years. Just setting yourself up to be used as a convenience for this man for 10 years. Are you kidding me right now? And that cat, honey, that cat would be living ferally out in the woods somewhere. I'm telling you, people say I'm really mean and all that kind of stuff. I don't give a damn. You cat you supposed to take care of and you don't do it. Guess what? No cat. Right? That's just, to me, that's very simple. And then he don't want to, he's supposed to, what else did you say? He's supposed to clean the shower. Don't you have a gym membership or something? Shower at the gym and let that thing grow penicillin. I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm telling you, I'm a person of principle. I'm not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And he would get in there talking about, oh, the shower's so gross. It's like, yeah, it is because you didn't clean it. But I really would be making plans to move out after I got rid of the cat. That's the best bet. You didn't take him to small claim court and get your $3,000. Okay. Question number 2. This is a young man in the 30 to 35 age group from Silicon Valley right here in San Jose, California. Even though I am 30 years old, right now I feel like an immature idiot. Is it somebody's birthday? Oh, yes, that's right, Diana. All month, girl, all month long. Well, happy birthday. I didn't know it was your birthday. Oh, thanks, Leandra. She on a scan date. This girl is too much. Okay, he's 30 years old and he feels like an immature idiot. I have a work phone at my job, pays for. We work a hybrid schedule, so some days we go into the office and other days we don't. My boss has a tendency to rearrange these days on a whim, which to me is really frustrating. I checked my phone last night at 9 before I went to bed. My boss said, damn, you go to bed at 9 o'clock? My boss sent me a text at 9:45 saying she isn't going into the office and we don't have to if we don't want to either. To anyone else, it would sound great because who likes going into the office anyways? Well, I didn't read this until 8:30 a.m. when I was already at the office. I was so angry because I got up early as hell, put on work clothes, and drove through traffic for a whole hour to make it to the office, only to show up and see that nobody was there. Mind you, I felt like a dumbass for not checking my phone again this morning, but constantly changing when we are going into the office or not is so inconsistent and unfair, in my opinion, especially when she makes that decision late at night. Well, I sent her a text sharing my opinion. That was a bad idea. Basically, I said changing when we do and don't come into in regularly is inconsistent and fair to the team. She responded and basically said, we pay for your phone, so you should be checking it. Also, she's the boss. What the F was I thinking? Side note, I've only been here since May. Now she set up a meeting to discuss this and a few other things. I feel like an immature child who sent a text when I was pissed off. I feel so dumb. Now I have to apologize for my outburst and I just feel awful. I feel like I'm going to look emotionally unstable and I'm so frustrated. How would you handle the conversation around this? I know I should apologize, but what else should I say? No, you shouldn't apologize. Let me tell you something. You're in the state of California. There are employment laws about this kind of stuff. Okay, when you're off the clock, you don't you don't have anything to do with work. Now, when you are on the clock and you are under the assumption that you were supposed to go to work and you did go to work, then that's appropriate. Now they pay for the phone. You know what you're supposed to do when you leave work? You leave the phone there. Unless, you're going to be working at home, then I guess you have to have it. But when your work day is over, you turn the phone off. You don't answer the phone on your personal time. You don't conduct company business on your personal time, which 9:45 p.m. is. Okay, so when you go into your meeting, you have to remind you that you're not paying me that. What is that thing they pay you when you are on call? There's some kind of like differential kind of payment that you get, and this is state law. Luckily, you're in California, so I know the laws here. If you was anyplace else, I wouldn't be able to help you. But if they want to have you on standby like that, they have to pay you. Remind her bitch ass of that. Because having you check your phone on your personal time, they need to pay you for the time that you're standing around waiting to hear from her. So all that time between workday ending and at 9 p.m. when she's 9, 10, whatever time that was when she sent it, you should have been paid for all that time because you were on standby waiting for her to make a decision. And I would file a claim with the state for that. The worst that can happen is you'll go to the hearing and they'll deny it or only give you half. But you know what? It'll make a statement to her bitch ass. You can't be having people yanking them around like that. What if somebody has kids and they need daycare? And they don't, you got them coming in at the last minute. They have to rearrange stuff at the last minute. That's some bullshit. So what you said to her was not wrong. I suggest you reach out to the state employment development department and ask them to send you. It might probably even be on the web how you're supposed to get paid when you're on standby like that. Because what she's talking about is some nonsense. Shift differential pay. Thank you, Drea. Drea knows the lingo. That's what I'm talking about. See, my list, they be knowing stuff. And that's exactly what it is. And you're not getting, you're not getting any money. She's not paying you to be on standby looking at your phone to see if she sends some kind of last minute communication. So no, she's full of shit. But like I said, you need to go into the meeting with the information. So either look on the state website or call them up and ask them if they can fax or email you the pertinent regulations about that, about that kind of time. So that when you go into the meeting with her, you can slap that shit down and say, this is why we're not trying to, what you're talking about is incorrect and wrong. And, if this continues, then I'm going to file a class action suit because you can get everybody else in on it. You don't even have to ask their permission. You just put their names on the form. The state will take it from there. I had to do that with some people. They wasn't giving me my pay stub, right? But they taking taxes out. And so I don't know if they're taking the correct amount out. I don't know. There's no record of it, right? And were they sending it to the state? Were they sending it to the feds? They didn't give it to me. I filed a claim with the state, dragged their asses into court. Sure did. And not only did they have to give me all my money, they had to pay interest on it because it was some like, I do a lot of contract work. And I was working with this firm in San Francisco. And I don't know, the fee out getting paid like $50-$60 an hour. And so, there you figure the income taxes, Social Security and all that kind of stuff, they're taking out of the money. That's fine because it was an agency. So they do that. But, you're not giving me a stamp. So I have no verification that you sent the money to the state or to the IRS or to, Social Security and all the stuff that they were supposed to be doing. I had to have evidence of that. And so when I went and filed my claim with the state, they hit them with the hammer. They had thousands of dollars of fines, and then coming to find out they had been doing that to people for a long time. So the dude evidently went out of business because I tried to call him a couple of months later and the phone was like, this number is no longer in service because the state tapped that ass. And I'm like, that's what you get. You fucked with the wrong bitch. Because one thing, people look at this little face, I have little dimples and I look all happy and stuff, but I am a savage when it comes to my money. I'm a fuck you up. And that's just the way it is. And especially, you got the law on your side. So you have the law on your side. There's nothing they can do to you except shut up and write a check. And that's what you need to go in there and explain to girlfriend and make sure you drop that dime and tell everybody up in there that they are owed money for all the times that she does that. Question number 3. This is a female in the 21 to 25 age group from Spokane Valley. Spokane. I'm going to say Spokane Valley, Washington. My boyfriend of 3 years always puts blame on me. Everything I do, I say. He said that I'm the one who's wrong. Even when some friends intimidate me, he never be on my side, and all he can do is blaming me. I don't know how to talk to him about how I really feeling because he has a very bad temper. I just don't know what to do. You leave him. That's what why is this like a trick question? Were you just trolling me? This is not a non-issue. Okay, this is a man who wants to blame you for everything and not take responsibility for the stuff that he does and says that hurts you. Why would you even want to be around somebody like that? Do you like yourself at all? I mean, I know there's some people like that's probably a mean question, but I mean, if you liked yourself at all, you would not tolerate being talked to and treated like this. And the fact that you've been with this knucklehead for 3 years, taking this bullshit and abuse. See, that's what I have to say. Do you even like yourself at all? There's no, this is shit through 3 years. I'm not going to take this for 3 minutes. 3 hours? Definitely not 3 months. Definitely weeks, not 3 weeks, months, days, years, none of that. No. So you just different than me. Yeah, because he doesn't want to. She just, accepting all his nonsense, and I just don't get it. Let's move on to question number 4, because that's an easy one. You just, say, look, I'm not dealing with you no more. And then you get rid of him. Get yourself into some therapy too. Because, whatever's going on with you that makes you think that this is acceptable behavior, you would just leave him and go and find somebody else that would dog you out the same way. So you need some couch time so you can get yourself together. Question number 4, female, 35 to 40 from Richmond, Virginia. We, him 33, me 36, were in an off and on again long distance relationship for about 6 years. Waste of fucking time. The last time we saw each other in person was January 2019. We broke up a couple of months after that due to his infidelity and reconnected in August that year after he moved to the other side of the country. He swore that he wanted to see me and told me he was trying to plan a visit to me and he really wanted to make things right and have a future together. Then the pandemic started. He was living with his parents, and we had a 3-hour time difference, so communication was kind of difficult. He would get weird sometimes about talking on the phone, but his mother didn't like me due to lies he had told her about me when he was cheating on me. He dropped out of my life completely in March of 2021 when I got annoyed because I had been trying to make plans to do something with him for the weekend. He kept brushing me off. I tried reaching out to him a couple of times after that, but I've not heard from him since. I was feeling nostalgic, and I decided to check on his YouTube account just to find out that a month and a half ago, he posted a video from his wedding. Almost everyone in the video was wearing a sweater, shawl, or jacket, which means he was most definitely got married to somebody else while he was still telling me that he loved me and he wanted to be with me and that he desperately wanted to see me. Well, that's probably why he dropped off the map, right? March is still kind of cool in most parts of the country. He married a woman who has a kid. I think it's really fucked up that he would be unfaithful to her and her daughter before they were even married and possibly after they were married by telling me he still wanted a future with me. I wish I could reach out to her and say something, but I don't have any of the messages from him anymore. I deleted them all after a month with no word from him. There's no point in me reaching out to her without having the evidence because I've been on the other side of this coin with him. I know he writes people off as being crazy ex-girlfriends. I know that it isn't my fault that he was being unfaithful to her in the same way he had been unfaithful to me. I had a strong gut suspicion that he might be seeing somebody else, but I had nothing to back it up. And he always told me that I needed to trust the things he was saying and believe his words instead of getting stuck in my head and overthinking things. I feel so dirty for the role I played in this, even though I didn't know it was a role I was playing until 6 months after it ended. How can I move forward and stop blaming myself? What are you blaming yourself for? Okay, let's rewind about this stupidity that you 3 years older than him and you should know better than this. Okay. First of all, it's an off and on again. Any relationship that's off and on again is a bullshit situation. Anybody who never heard me say that before, let me tell you, if a man is serious about you, there's no off and on. It's just on. Okay. On. That's it. Just on. One thing. Not off, on, while he investigates other broads and does other stuff. That's not how a man who's serious about you behaves. He wants to be in your face. He wants to claim you. He wants to be around you. He wants to talk to you, touch you, make love to you, be just in your presence, hang out with you, laugh with you, cook with you, eat with you. He sleep with you. He wants to be there. He's not off and he's not back on again. Okay. Now, that was the first clue that you was in some fuck shit. The second thing is that it was long distance. Are there no men locally? You got to go halfway across the country to date somebody, call yourself dating somebody. You know what that means? Both of you have some commitment issues, probably more so you than him, because you the one that's still pining about him and missing him and all this kind of shit. Dude has moved on and made a commitment to somebody. Now, and then you're going to turn around and say that he was cheating. He wasn't cheating with you when he was with her. He dumped your ass. You confused. You said he didn't see you since the 2019, right? So he hasn't touched you. He hasn't kissed you. He hasn't held your hand. He hasn't slept with you since 2019. That's what you said. That was the last time you saw him. So how is it that you figured that he was cheating on his wife with you? You doing some kind of weird math that don't make no damn sense. So all this, anyway, I'm saying all that because so you get down here to end. How can you move forward and stop blaming yourself? Blaming yourself for what? When he was with you, he was single. Now he's not, and he ain't seen you since. Okay, so you don't have anything here to be tripping about. You just looking for some bullshit to be writing a letter about and get some attention. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's move on. Question number 5. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Sunnyvale, California. I feel like I might know the answer, but I'm here to ask for some insight. Now, it's not even infidelity because when he was fucking around with her, he was single. Okay. Now he got married. She ain't seen him yet. All he did was call up and talk some shit to her just to see if she was simple-minded enough to, after somebody dropped you like a hot rock several times, to still think that you had a chance with him. See, she's supposed to block his ass so that he can't even do that. But she didn't do it because she was a desperado type. That's the only reason that man called her, just to fuck with her just because he could. I wish y'all would understand these kind of games. It's an ego boost for him. And she's sitting up there thinking he's really going to try to get back with her and all this kind of stuff. Just stupid to be 33 years old. Okay. He never saw her again. What was she basing all of this on? Come on now, y'all. Stay with me here. He ain't seen you since 2019. It's 2021. And you talking about he cheated? Motherfucker ain't cheated. He has not no infidelity. He has not touched this broad or seen this broad in years. All right, let's go back to question number 5. Okay, she's 26 to 29. She's in Sunnyvale. My husband and I have been married for 4 years. I've got some poor self-esteem and a complicated relationship with eggplant, both of which I'm actively trying to repair. I stay very fit and I'm down for eggplant approximately 98% of the time, but my husband isn't as often in the mood. We might get it once or twice a week, which I try to make peace with. My husband just recently shared that he checks out other women a few times a week and will fantasize about what they look like getting or them. I've always been insecure that this was the case. I definitely knew it to be. He's alive after all. But he always did no, of course not. Mama, I guess to protect me. Anyways, my stomach has been in knots with this. I'm eggplant positive and have fantasies of my own. Most often when I feel excited for a few days in a row and he isn't down to clown. That's a cute way to put it. But I'm struggling to not take it personally. He has said he checks me out as well and never wants to open a relationship or actively engage with any of these women. I see all the stuff about a man fantasizing when he's, quote, not getting what he needs at home, but I don't know how I'm supposed to improve that. I often let him know I'm ready whenever he is, and I compliment his heart and body every day. I send him, pics, and tapes Oh, and film tapes with him when he's down for it. I offer uh on the road. Oh God, why does she have to be so graphic? I'm trying to like Candace, we got to we can't do these because it flags the videos too much. I can logically say he has access to killer eggplant with me whenever he wants, but emotionally, this shit is throwing me for a loop. So, is there a way for me to work through this? I'm having such ugly feelings with it and could use some insight on how to get to the other side. So, your husband had the gall to come and tell you that he checks out other women's and he will fantasize about them and he's still living. He's still alive. He's still breathing with a V. Breathing. You haven't drop kicked him to Mars, bopped him upside the head with a rolling pin, frying pan, some other blunt object. You didn't do anything. You're just feeling like there's something wrong with you because he said that. Girl, what you supposed to do? I don't know what race you are, but I'm gonna tell you this how you dog. You this is how you do him because you didn't say Sunnyvale. Who knows? You know, California, especially that part. She could be like Asian. She could be Latino. She could be black. She could be white. That area is mixed with everybody from every corner of the world. You know, the tech industry is all down there. So who knows? So I don't know what nationality, race you are, whatever, but what you do is whatever you are, you go online and you find pictures of men who are not what he is. You go and you find the finest, most built up, the most package having, the most buff, handsome faced men that you can find, and then you print them pictures out and you put them up around and say, here's my fantasies right here. Put it as your screensaver. So when your computer goes to sleep, that shit's rolling across the screen. See, two can play this game. You put it as the background on your cell phone, some smiling fine ass motherfucker. And you just let him see when you put your phone ring, this dude's face is gonna flash across the screen. I would wear him out. I don't know. I just like that fight fire with fire thing. That mirroring, I'm telling you, mirroring works. If you don't know about that, look on the channel, just type in mirroring, and I have a whole video about how you do that to men who act stupid like this. You reflect back to them what they shine on you, and they usually don't like it very much. But you know, that's just the way that it is because you shouldn't have done it then. I like it. The flamethrower. Yeah, okay, the firefighter calendars. Oh, girl, yes. Oh, they used to have what I don't know, it was like in the late 90s. They had the black firefighters of Oakland had a calendar. Honey, child, you never seen so many fine chocolate ass men in your life. I mean, they had men of other races in there too. But oh my God, it was just like, and I always wanted to have a fireman boyfriend or husband. Never could meet one. But I tell you, anyway, that's what you have to do with him. Even if you got to up the ante, even if you're not that excited, you better put on an Academy Award winning performance and just rub it in and say, ooh, God damn. Every time I think about that motherfucker, I just want to jump his bone. Is that how you are with these women that you see? I understand it. Because, you know, that's how I am about this dude, too. You know, look at you. You need to go to the gym more. Because I wish you had a body is looking like that. Look at his package through them sweatpants. Because you know they had that group on Facebook. Look at his package through them sweatpants. Why don't yours look like that? I wonder if they have something we could get or order some pills or something that would make it bigger. I would hurt his fucking feelings. Motherfucker. Telling me some bullshit like that. He gonna be wound up. He need to be wound up. Because you know what? That's such a disrespectful thing to say to your wife. You don't talk to your wife like that. That's just not done. I'm telling you. So yeah, girl, go just roll up your sleeves and get gully. And just let him have it with both barrels. Question number 6. This is a male from 26 to 29 age group from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Okay, I know there isn't a one size fits all answer to this, but I'm looking for genuine response. Wife and I have been together since our late teens, approximately 20 years. Oh, this must be, you must have checked the wrong box then, dude. He must mean 46 to 49. In 2014-15, she had multiple emotional affairs using false profiles on Tinder and etc. Wow. So wait, so you were married then? Okay. I caught her. She denied it, but she eventually admitted. I still lack trust in her, but try my best to not let it show or affect us. In every other way, our relationship is good and healthy. She's still fairly secretive over her phone. Not ridiculous, but she won't tell me the password, etc. I haven't demanded it, just mentioned it in conversation, but she said she'd never disclose it. She doesn't know my phone or iPad pin either, but I would happily tell her both. We're in our late 30s, married with kids, etc. Okay. And you've known her for 20 years? This can't be you. Something is wrong here. Do you know your partner's pin/password? How about the other ladies? Is this a normal thing to want to know? No, I never knew, and I never even looked in my husband's phone unless he told me to. Any men that I've dated, I don't pick up their phone. You know why I don't pick up their phone? Because I don't give a fuck who's calling them. I care about who's calling me. I just don't trip like that. I don't go through folks' drawers. I don't go through their phone. I don't want to know their email password. I'm not trying to look at your email. I don't care. It's like I might like you and stuff like that, but I have limits to how much I'm gonna like you because I'm gonna always like me more. And the me that likes me doesn't give a shit about what you doing like that. Either I trust you or I don't. And the very second that I don't, I'm out. Boop. So there's no need for me to go through all them changes. Checking up on you and seeing if your story matching with where you were and calling your friends, trying to find you, and all the stuff that women do to check up on their men. And I'm like, why you doing all that? That energy you spending doing all that shit, you could have been making some money. I just I just don't understand it. I don't get it. Oh, Shay. It's like shit. Shay is a creative type too. You know, I be watching Shay. I be looking at Shay's makeup and trying to reproduce it. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm getting a little bit better, a little bit better. But honey, you want to figure, you want some makeup tips, you reach out to that girl, right? Right there. She knows what she's doing. And I just be looking just in total admiration. And then she be, I saw her, you know, she got an Instagram and you go and you follow her on her Instagram and you see she be up there posing and stuff, trying to look all fly and cute. I have to give her the heart thing because I'm like, ooh, work it, girl. That's our Shay. You know, how do you know if they cheat if you don't look at their phone? I don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying. That's the thing. I go by how I feel. And it's like the sixth sense. Every woman knows her man. What you guys will want to do is get verification. You want to verify. Either you go to him, I know you seeing that bitch and this and that, blah, blah, and you want him to admit it. I don't know why that's so important to women. That you be proven right, that he knows that and all this kind of stuff. You be going through all these changes to get evidence and wave it in his face about how you found out he's cheating and this the bitch phone number and just all these changes. I don't do those kinds of things. If I have any suspicions at all about anything, because your pattern has changed, you hiding shit that you wasn't hiding before, something don't feel right. As you guys know, I have a very good sixth sense. I'm very intuitive. And I know if some bullshit is going down, and we're not going to even talk about it. Because when we establish the relationship, I already told you the boundaries and parameters under which I will continue the relationship. Right. So you knew going in, if this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens, you say this, you do this, you do this, we're through. We're not going to have another conversation about it because we're having a conversation now. So I'm just telling you what's going to cause that thing where I'm not going to be looking at you and talking to you anymore to happen. So in my mind, since I've already told you, if you go and do those things, that means you wanted that end result of us breaking up. You just didn't want to do it. You wanted me to do it. And I understand that because men are cowards, most of them, they, scared that you're going to be going off and all that kind of stuff. But I don't go off. I just say, well, looks like this shit here is over, son. So get your shit and get the fuck out. Or if I'm at his house, I get my shit and get the fuck out. Like I told you about the dude I was living with, and I just got another apartment and moved out. And he hanging on my leg and stuff, begging me not to go after he acted stupid. I'm like, nope, I'm done here, sir. This is a wrap. So, yeah. So I don't know. I don't understand why you guys want to be putting all that energy into proving, and they just gonna lie. So I mean, why even ask them? I don't understand it. I'm telling you, I don't get it. And this was way before I started in the advice field. I mean, as a teenager, I would see girls doing all that kind of stuff. And I always thought that they were crazy. It's like, what you doing? Why are you doing all that? You don't trust him. He's corner cutting and dodging and doing all kind of suspect stuff. Just leave him alone. How hard is this? Yeah, it's like, yeah, Keith, I'm telling you. You don't even have to. If I suspect you trying to cheat, I'm gone. See, because that means something is amiss. Like I said, I'm extremely intuitive in vibes. You can tell the vibe changes. And men don't understand that. I think all women know when they men cheat. Some of them just pretend not to because they don't want to do anything about it. But I can always tell because that energy is weird. It just changes. Okay, let's move on to question number 7. Female, 225 from Phoenix, Arizona. I need a little advice. So my boyfriend is a manager and he has coworkers text him all the time. These coworkers are only girls and they text not just about work stuff, but for other things like their family, their ex-boyfriend, talking crap about other coworkers, etc. I don't like that they text him all the time. And last night I saw that one of them sent him a thank you with a heart emoji. It was yellow. And now I am upset. I haven't told him anything about it, but should I make it a big deal or keep quiet since I already have mentioned that I don't like his coworkers texting him? Why did the girl send a heart emoji? And this is another manager for a different store that sent that. Did she just send it as a nice gesture or there meaning to it? See, this is what I'm talking about. This kind of stuff. See, he's not putting up proper boundaries to protect you and your relationship with him. If you were me, I would end this. I would end this because I would be sitting there thinking, what kind of bullshit is this? And how come he's not telling these women not to text him about things that are not related to business and off business hours? See, I wouldn't want to have to tell my man that. He's supposed to have enough sense to know that already because he cares about me and he cares about a relationship and he don't want no bullshit. Right? So you got a man who's just inviting bullshit into your house. It's on his phone when he's there with you. And you're still with him. See, I don't understand that. Yeah, extremely disrespectful. Especially since you already mentioned to him, he's not like, okay, well, so you mentioned it, I'm doing it anyway. That's his basic attitude. So, see, to me, this is such a violation that the relationship would be over. I'm not gonna wait till I catch him in bed with somebody, which is where this is going. I'm not going to wait to that point. I'm a deuce out right now because he's not respecting me. And I am a big one for respect. And there's none here. Okay. So you think about this. Tune in, like I said the other day, tune into how you feel. I got some emails from girls that want me to do a whole video on that thing about, tuning into your emotions and teaching them how to do it. Because they said they don't know how. So that might be something for a 7-minute video. I'll give it some thought. But I didn't realize so many women don't do that. But here's a perfect example of a girl who's not tuning into her emotions and what she's really feeling about this guy and acting in her own best interest. So, yeah, I think it might be a good thing. You look down, purple rain, you look in the show description down below. Just expand that box and just down near the bottom, you'll see a link that says get it out. Click here to get advice. And then that's what you do. All right. Let me see. I got to turn this light on. All right. There we go. Okay. Let's move on to. Oh, wait. There was a letter that's starting at the bottom. Okay. Question number 8. Female 30 to 35 from Coventry, West Midlands in the UK. I'm in a long-term relationship, roughly 11 years, and have 2 children, 7 and 2. This evening, our 2-year-old was running up to my partner in the lounge and running back again to the lounge door. Is lounge like living room in the UK? What's my UK folks? Is that a lounge like the living room? I'm going to guess. Den, maybe? Family room? I don't know. Y'all just let me know so I know, I'm still learning this UK lingo. He did it quite a lot, and his dad was playing with him at first. But then he told him to stop and shouted at him to stop about 6 times. My son wouldn't stop, so he lifted him up and took him into his bedroom and left him in the cot bed crying. When I went to confront him in the lounge, I was in the kitchen when it happened. He said, well, he wouldn't listen and continued jumping on me. I told him you should have told him to stop straight away and not play with him, or that is telling him you are okay with it. He didn't agree and started raising his voice, swearing and saying it's always my fault, I'm to blame, and so on. He is a compulsive gambling addict, knows he is, and has been attending Gambler Anonymous meetings since June. I tell him to stop shouting and calm down as the kids were stood by us. He aggressively came into my space swearing, and I left the house to calm down. I am so angry and need some advice. Okay, so you had 2 kids by somebody who's a compulsive gambling addict, and you writing to ask me for help? And you knew he was a compulsive gambling addict, and so you had to have found it out before you had baby number 2, since there's a 5-year gap in between them, right? Do you understand how stupid your decision-making process is? One kid I could see. Okay, you had one, I don't know, but you've been with him, you said 11 years. So you had plenty of time before 4 years with him before, okay, 3 plus the pregnancy, to figure out that he was a knucklehead before you started having all these kids with him and got tied to him and stuck. Yeah, 11 years altogether, one kid's 7 and one's 2, right? So I'm going to say this. First of all, he's right. That thing where, the issue, when you sons especially need to know that when someone says stop, they need to fucking stop immediately, lady. Okay, don't be making excuses for the fact that he's 2. 2-year-olds understand very well boundaries. But if you constantly covering for him and letting him do whatever the fuck he wants to other people, trust me, you're going to be visiting your son in prison. Because that mentality, that sense of entitlement that I can do whatever I want to your body, even though you tell me no and stop, starts early. Okay, and you don't think that the 2-year-old has a good understanding. They do. They understand very well. So you're supposed to, instead of yelling at your man about that, you're supposed to go in that little kid's face and say, Daddy said stop. When somebody tells you to stop touching them, you stop touching them. Do you hear me? And if he didn't want to hear it, then you should have put him in the cot bed so he could cry it out. And then you go back in there and say, now, if someone tells you to stop, what are you going to do? And he's going to say, 2-year-olds understand. And he would be like, I thought, mommy, I thought. Okay, they're smart. They know what's going on. Their language skills might not be that great, but that doesn't mean he doesn't understand what you're saying. So, in this instance, it is your fault. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear that, but this is not good parenting. It's fine for someone to play a game with the kid, but at some point, people are going to get sick of doing the same shit, and they're going to tell your kid to stop. You need to reinforce your child stopping when people say, don't touch me, don't jump on me, don't grab me, and this kind of stuff for your son. So that when he gets older and a girl says no, he will learn this lesson early and he will stop. Okay? This is bad fucking parenting. That's right. I thought, mommy. I thought. Yeah, he understands. No, you're right, Drea. But he was doing what he wanted to do. And did it, like she said, 6 more times. Not just 1, 6. The father was shouting at him 6 times. That's what she said here. And my son wouldn't stop. So the father lifted him up and put him in the cot bed so he could just get him a little punishment right quick. Because he didn't listen. So, I'm not about kids not listening to their parents. I'm not about that life. So, lady, I mean, you made some bad decisions to have kids with this knucklehead, and he got a bad temper, and he's a gambling addict. And now I don't know what you're going to do. I hesitate to tell you because, I don't know what your financial situation is, but, you've known how this man is all this time. Do you think it's going to get any better? And you two have very different ideas about parenting. You need to get on his plane about that and teach your sons how to respect people's boundaries. And when people say no and stop, to do it. Okay? Because you're going to raise some hooligans. Question number 9. This is a female in the 21 to 25 age group from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I am 23 and I've been in a quote relationship with a 25-year-old male for about 2.5 years without a label. And this summer, when I finally confronted him about wanting a label, he said that he is not ready because of the expectations that come in a relationship. For about 2.5 years, I was always there for him. I comforted him when he was going through depression. I supported him when he was busy job hunting and felt like giving up. I sent him food. We were long distance. When he would have long nights at work, answer his call during the middle of the night when he couldn't sleep and had bad dreams and a bunch of other things. In August, I decided to give him an ultimatum because I felt used as I did so much for him and he could not make time for me or take me seriously. He couldn't give me a label. So we decided to part ways. And every time I tell him that I want better from him, would label me as aggressive and would turn defensive. And every time I try to talk about my problems, the only thing he would say is, damn, that sucks. Even though I would send him paragraphs and paragraphs of encouragement, support, and comfort. During this whole time, I didn't even meet his friends or his family, so I felt like he kept me hidden for some reason. Anyways, how do I move on? It's been a month, and I still cannot stop thinking about everything. I am busy with grad school and go out with my friends a lot, but whenever I'm not occupied, the only thing I think about is our relationship. Let me go through this. What you have, Miss 23-year-old, is a fucking fantasy of a relationship that never existed. You was a booty call and you stayed, got all out of your envelope doing all this stuff to help a man. How many times have I told y'all don't help men? You shouldn't have been helping him do shit. That's his parents' job or his job, his shrink's job, a job counselor's job. You trying to step in and be his mommy and just take care of him like he's your kid. Now, I'm going to tell you another thing. Since you're only 23, you need to know this now. If a man wants to be with you, he's gonna make that claim within about 3 months, usually less than that. Okay. So you spending 2.5 years wasting your time and trying to earn a relationship, trying to do all this stuff for him to have him recognize you as being a benefit to his life, for him to pick you, for him to desire you, for him to feel like you're just so, something that he just can't get away from because he just needs you so much. You're just indispensable to his life. That's what you was trying to do. You're trying to ingratiate yourself into his life, performing like a trained SEAL, doing all these tricks and trying to get him to approve of you and be a pick-me. So as you see, that shit don't work. It never works. A man either wants you or he does not. Yeah. Yep, Keith. Keith got it. There's your label right there. Keith somebody, husband and daddy. That's his label. He just comes in here just for, I don't know, entertainment, I'm sure. But little girl, this is something you need to sit down and think about, okay? Why did you do all this stuff for a man that you're not even with? Why did you do that? And then, like I said, my assessment is that you were trying to earn his love and earn his acknowledgement and earn him picking you. You felt like if you did all these favors for him and did all the stuff and took care of him like that, he would see what a good woman you are, and then he would want you. That's what you were trying to do. Then he would pick you. And you see, he didn't want you then and he don't want you now. And I don't know why you was doing all that shit. So in the future, don't do that. How do you move on? There's nothing to move on from. It's like I said, it's all in your imagination. The relationship did not exist. Okay, there was nothing there. Y'all was fucking, and that was it. Okay, everything else you did, sending him stuff and doing all stuff for him, you did that because you wanted to. So I don't know what to tell you. Question number 10. Yeah, she's a straight pick me. Pick me. Oh, male, 26 to 30, Kingston upon Hull in England. What a name. I want to move there so I can tell everyone. Well, where do you live? Well, I started off in San Francisco and now I'm in Kingston upon Hull. Isn't that a name? Hi, Deb and crew. The story is I broke up with my girlfriend about 5 months ago, and then we got back together after she slept with someone else whilst we were broken up. Whilst. She did not cheat or do anything wrong. We've been back together for about 3-4 months, and today I opened her computer and found the guy's number that she was sleeping with whilst we were broken up on her computer. The entry was dated 4 weeks ago. Okay, so you guys got back together. We've been back together for 3 or 4 months, and this was dated 4 weeks ago. Ooh. I'm not sure what to do in terms of bringing it up with her or what it means. I really want to bring it up with her, but I want to do it in the right way. Why is she storing it on her computer? Thank you for any insight you can provide. Well, why didn't you just delete it? Why didn't you just delete it and then wait? See, this is my thing. I would delete it and then I would wait to see what she said about it. Like if she would be like, "Oh my God, I had some numbers deleted on my computer and now they're gone." Really? That's pretty amazing. Why do you think that happened? But I tell you, see me, this is me again. Me finding something like that would know that that was no accident. It was meant spiritually for me to find that so I could get a fucking clue. So what you see, this is why when you break up with somebody, you don't ever get back with them. You never get back with them. And the fact that she slept with the dude and she want to keep his number even though she's back with you means one of two things. Either she's still fucking him because, it's better than fucking you, or she suspects that you aren't really that serious and you guys still have issues and she's trying to decide if she's going to stay with you or you going to, flip out again and break up with her again. So she has a backup plan. So it's going to be one of them two things. But, either one really wouldn't sit well with me because if you got one, if you still fucking him, that means you cheating. And if you got him like as a backup plan, that means you already got one foot out the door and you're not really giving it your all. So just being here like this is a waste of both of our time. So for me, once again, looking at this situation, I would be chucking up the deuces. And that would be it. But I would delete the number first. Just because I could. Yep. I'm telling you, I would just delete it just because I would want to see what she would do. Not because I really care, because I would have already made up my mind. I'm gone. But, next time you break up with somebody, dude, stay broken up. Okay. You broke up for a reason. Do you think that you was only, you back together 3 or 4 months, you only broke up 5 months ago? You didn't have any time to do any growing assessment, analysis of yourself or anything like that. Neither did she. Y'all just looped right back together. Whatever broke you up is still there. That problem's still there. So I'm just not a fan of going backwards. I don't believe in breaking up and going back with somebody. Once we broke up, we're through. It's over. I'm moving on. Question number 11. We got 25 questions for those of you who just wandered into What the Fuck Tuesday. We do this every Tuesday night. People submit their letters in advance. This is not the show where you ask questions on the spur of the moment, though I will be planning one of those for what is this, September? Maybe towards the end of this month, we'll do one of those shows. First of next month after all the DNN shows are done. And then we'll do that. So you can, ask your question. You make your little super chat donation or your Cash App donation, whatever you want to do. And then you answer your question. You get a real live, answer right on the air right then. But if you want to submit your question, look in the show description down below and click the link that says Get Advice and fill out the form and just press send, okay? So let's move on to question number 11. This is a female in the 21 to 26 age group. It says she's from North Carolina. I've been struggling with separation anxiety from my parents. I'm 22, living with 2 adult siblings, and I'm experiencing burnout. I have 2 jobs. I'm a part-time college student and a babysitter. I don't have any friends, and I'm not allowed to go anywhere alone except for work. They will call my job if they don't know where I am. They say they wouldn't know what to do if I were kidnapped or murdered. I'm frustrated because I grew up with a mentally ill brother who I witnessed attempt to abuse 10 years ago our dog. Oh, eggplant abused the dog. But we ignore it because he's on medication and getting treatment now. They give me a hard time because I don't trust it. It's like the main person you should have been protecting me from lives with us, and we just pretend everything is fine. My mom says all I do is babysit, and if I wasn't serious about getting a real job, to drop out of college and just work my current job. She's vocal about my flaws and says I'm not ready for a corporate job and that I'm wasting my time, that I'm too sensitive to work in that kind of environment. I've considered dropping out of school because I'm not confident in my ability to perform at a corporate job. My sister said if I agreed to be her full-time nanny, I could quit my job, finish my degree online, and live rent-free. I said no. Her husband is aggressive and has PTSD. My sister and her husband helped raise me, and he was given authority to discipline me, so he still sees me as a child, not as an adult. He still lectures me about how ungrateful I am and I don't deserve anything because he was abused when he grew up and I got it easy. My dad is a pastor, so he includes stories about me in his sermons, even when I tell him I don't like it. When I got medication for anxiety, my parents said I didn't trust God to fix it. Girl, during my childhood, my mother wasn't emotionally available. Now it's like me, we are extremely close. She's joking about having another child because I'm grown now. She's 50. We've been sharing a bed together and taking naps together every day. She's been talking about when I was a baby more lately. Makes comments like when I was a baby then, I'm still a baby now. She constantly makes comments about breastfeeding me when I was a baby, and she knows it makes me uncomfortable. She will grab my waist so I can't walk away. She even made a comment about it in public around my sister's friends, and I was so embarrassed. My father and other men there just ignored her. I tried counseling, but the counselor said I had a loving family and I didn't need counseling. When I moved away from home the first time, I was depressed. How should I deal with separation anxiety? Depressed about what? You should have been up doing the Cabbage Patch, the Running Man, the Nay Nay, the James Brown, the what's that dress called? The Butterfly. My daughter knew how to do that. She was only 4 and she would do that real good. But I'm just like, girl, you should be partying hardy to be away from these crazy nut bags. That's your family. They all sound deranged. Every last one of them's got mental problems. Your mother sounds like she's trying to abuse you with eggplantily. I'm trying to use different words here to not get dinged so hard. But and that counseling, you went to one. Okay, you don't stop at one. You get up from now on and say, "Well, you stupid. You don't even recognize dysfunction when it's right in your face." So obviously, that was not a good counselor. Go find somebody else. You need some therapy. I want you to finish school. Don't you stop. You finish school and you need to move out. You said you were depressed when you moved out. You know why you was depressed? Because you are so used to cray cray that when you didn't have cray cray, you didn't know what to do with yourself. That's why you felt like you were depressed. That's all that is. You have to have a new normal. Okay, you have to have the confidence to build one, create one. This is some sick, twisted shit. Brother up there trying to screw dogs, and the mama trying to talk about sleeping with you every day and all. Oh, hell to the no. That something wrong with them people. Hey, they cross so many boundaries with you, and it's like you don't date. Okay, do not date. Oh my God, don't do that. You would just be roadkill because you don't have any sense of your personal space and boundaries living in this family. You need to find you a shrink. Go on the website, the Association of Black Psychologists. I don't care if you green with pink polka dots. You need to get you a brother or a sister that has some street smarts and knows about this kind of stuff. So that when you start talking, they will not try to tell you that you have a loving family. They will recognize the bullshit that you're coming from and help you navigate it. He might be. I don't know, but I'm just telling you, you need to get out of this situation as quickly as possible. Oh, wait. Did I skip something? Hold on a second. Oh, yeah. Okay, question number 12. This is a male in the 36 to 40 age group from Coventry, England. I saw your show on poly relationships and wonder if that is what my wife is thinking of doing, but hasn't discussed it with me. We've been married for 14 years and she wants to separate and to see another man. I'm so lost and I can't sleep. She is still living with me and the kids and then goes away Friday night till Tuesday afternoon before I go to work. She would leave during the weekdays and leave my 10 and 5-year-old girls alone in the house at different times of the day. My 10-year-old is taking heart and cries all the time. I feel like I'm being used. She held maybe 4 jobs during our relationship for a couple of months each. The rest has always been on me. The fucked up part is that I would take her back because I still love her and I don't want to have my kids here and there and really would want to kill anybody that was trying to play daddy to my girls. She says that this will stop before the holidays and she just needs time and space because she's lost and feels empty inside. But I feel the longer I wait, the deeper she gets with this guy. They even have plans to go on vacation to Mexico during her birthday later this month. I don't know what to do. Please help me. Take your happy ass to the nearest divorce court attorney and file for divorce. And all this stuff. I hope you have texts and receipts. And I mean, I don't. Where did you say you were again? Oh, you in Coventry, England. I don't know what the divorce laws are about there. If you would have to pay alimony to somebody who's so blatantly cheated on you like that and damages your kid. He knows she's cheating. He said he knows what she said. I mean, she told him, it's not a secret that, she is still living with me and the kids and goes away Friday night till Tuesday before work. She's seeing another man. He said that in the first sentence of the second paragraph. So that's not a secret. He knows that already. But what I'm telling him is, you're trying to be patient, hope this is some phase that she's going to get out of her system. Whatever's wrong with her, whatever she's looking for, this emptiness, she's trying to fill it by diverting herself to this other man. What you have to do is protect your kids. So what you do is you go to an attorney, you tell them what's going on, you tell them that you want to file for divorce, and you want full custody of your daughters. That's what you have to do. Because with her flipping out like this, she's going to have them kids around all different kind of men while she's going through whatever she's going through. That's not going to be a good situation for two little girls to be in. 10 years old and 5 years old. See, then you're going to hurt somebody that hurt them, and then you're going to be in prison, and they're going to be in foster care somewhere because their mother's stupid. So think about this, okay? Think. Slow down and think about all the possible ramifications that could come from each possible action that you take. The number one thing I want you to do, though, is go lock down any bank accounts because, she shouldn't be getting no money from you. She fucking on another dude. Let him support her. And you close all that out and you get custody of your daughters. You change the locks on the house and you lock her out. You toss her shit out on the lawn and say, bitch, bye. Go be with the man that you want to be with. And this thing about loving her and all this kind of stuff to the point where you're sacrificing yourself and your daughters for her ass, you don't do that. Love your daughters. Worry about them, okay? That's where your attention needs to be focused right now because you're the only same parent that they have. You focus on what you can do to help protect them and keep them on an even keel. If you have the health insurance for it, get them some therapy because they're going to need it, especially the oldest one because she understands what's going on. The little one is probably like, mommy's coming back. And she understands, but not like on the level a 10-year-old would. So, but you need to take some action, sir. Right now, you're just letting her control everything. You can control all three of you with her wildness. That's not how you do things as a husband and a father. You take control so that you protect them girls. Okay. Question number 13, female, 21 to 26 from Seattle, Washington. I hope the answer to this would be Deb. What would Deb do? I took a hiatus from hanging out with my girlfriends during the pandemic. During that time, I hung out with my sister or cousin. I focused on my hobbies. I'm 21. My sister and cousins are 17 to 19. I love the calmness of it. We stayed out of the city, which is hard to walk around due to the gentrification. In Seattle, they got gentrification up there too. By reconnecting with my friends now, I just don't feel like hanging out with them anymore. I don't know if it's because I'm not fond of where I live or it's because they only like to talk about hookups. What's another euphemism for it? So, pharmaceuticals, partying, etc. Those things make me sad to hear about. I might be emotionally immature because I never got into a relationship or a hookup stuff, and it's just not what my focus is on. We still hang out like we used to, but it feels different. I can't quite put my finger on it. I used to relate to my friends even when they talked about that kind of stuff, but now I feel like I can't wait to go home. Is something wrong with my actions? Should I try to be more extroverted, or do I just need to make new friends? Thank you for reading this. Well, you at that age group, you're 21. I'm telling you, every 7 years you change. What you turn 28. Whoever you collect between now and 28, they're going to be gone again. That's just the way it is. You in that transition phase of life where it's from now until you're about 35 or so. You're going to change all kinds, your friends several different times. And then after that, you pretty much, the friends you make at that point, you pretty much can hang on to those because they'll be different. But right now, you in that find them and discard them phase of life. So what you need to do is, now that you can reconnect with them and stuff, you don't have to go places with them. Just be busy. Okay? Just be busy. It's like, well, they want to go and they want to get together. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm, hanging out with my sister and my cousins. Oh, my mom and I are going here and there. And even if you have to just fucking lie. I mean, it's not like they're going to be coming around checking up and see if you really with your mother or not. So oh, I have to work, sorry. Just, you make up so many excuses. So what you're going to do, you're going to start cutting down the time that you with them. So every 3 or 4 times that they invite you, you go once. Then it's going to be every 5 to 10 times you go once. And then pretty soon they'll just stop inviting you because you can never come. And then that's what you want. And you get new friends. Problem solved. Question number 14, female, 26 to 30 from Cleveland, Ohio. My friends are excluding me from different events, and I'm kind of feeling some kind of way about it. And I want to get your take on if what I'm feeling is okay, or am I tripping? I pulled together some friends from different areas as a group to get together regularly. Women from my past jobs, from high school, etc. All who I have otherwise maintained friendships with. Some of them started doing stuff, everything from workouts to coffee to happy hour, but without me. They went on a trip together, which was when I finally said something. Then I felt excluded. A couple of months later, it's happened again. The behavior persists with another trip, and I can't tell if I need to either suck it up and this is normal, stop being sensitive, or if I'm valid. In some ways, I feel like I'm overreacting, but otherwise I feel totally hurt that I've been eliminated from these events. It feels childish all around. Wait a minute, how old are you again? 26 to 30? Oh, maybe you in that 28 age group, huh? So they're casting you aside. I'm trying to tell you, it's like you girls, I'm telling you, I have mentioned this in so many videos. That age, 27, 28 years old, it's just everybody, you just change. You don't want to have the same people in your life. You choose different people. And that evidently is what happened. Your friends, they're choosing different people and it's not you. There's nothing wrong with that. This is a normal phase of female evolution. It happens to every single woman. Okay, so you most likely would have gotten around them and wanted to change some stuff anyway. So they're just helping you do it faster. So don't worry about it. Just go make some new friends and then keep your friends for you. All your friends don't need to know each other. Sometimes, I know some of my friends don't know each other. You know why? Because I have some friends that are like real shishi and bougie. And I have some friends that's hood rats from when I was a kid in the Fillmore. You think I'm going to bring them little thugettes around my bougie friends? Them ones with, MBAs and stuff like that? I mean, I have friends that run the spectrum. But do you think I would bring that in with these people? They walk around with a joint hanging from their lips most of the time, high as Scooter Brown? Those, I mean, there's people I know. I mean, they got the kind of folks that got your back. So they're still friends. I mean, I don't hang out with them all that much, but you know what I mean? That's the crew. Like if some shit went down and I needed some backup because I'm going to kick somebody's ass, they'd be like, "Dad, we'd be right there." Okay, that's what you think. My bougie friends are gonna do that? Because no, it's like, oh, my boss might see me. It's just like, oh, Deborah, can't you solve that problem some other kind of way? Just be more reasonable. They're really good about other stuff, but if I'm ready to kick somebody's ass, I'm not gonna call them. I'm gonna call my girls from over in San Francisco, the projects. That's who I'm gonna call, and then we gonna roll out and we gonna kick some ass. So you know what I mean? Cooter Brown is Cooter, Cooter. Cooter Brown, I don't know who Cooter Brown is. That's a phrase I got from my dad. He used to always say everybody was Cooter Brown. I don't know. Yeah, exactly, Keith. They'll be like, "Oh, Deborah, just call the police. They can investigate this crime. You shouldn't get involved. That kind of stuff." I'm like, yeah, let me hang up from you because I got to make some calls. Exactly, Cindy. That's who I'm gonna call. My girls from the hood. So they always down for a fight. Some of them been to jail and all kind of shit. And I'm like, oh my God, well that's a little much for me. That's when I have to start clutching my pearls. I'm not trying to do all that. But I mean, you gotta have all kind of friends. You gotta have doctor friends, lawyer friends, pharmacist friends, engineer friends, carpenter friends, auto mechanic friends, plumber friends. You got to know people so that you know you can maneuver and get shit done. There's a bar in New Orleans called Cooter Brown. Well, I know your dad says that too. I know my dad don't know nothing about that bar because he has not been to. He never went to New Orleans. He did not want to get on a plane. I went with him one time. He had a business meeting in New York, and I was about 12, and he was scared to get on the plane. I swear, he was scared to get on the plane by himself. So he wanted me to go with him. So I had to go with my daddy to the thing. I stayed in a hotel, during the day, and then he would take me out, and we walk around and stuff. That was the only time I've been to New York City. That was so long ago. I know it don't look nothing like that now. It's the only I haven't been back, but I went with him that one time. It was a redevelopment kind of thing or something like a national redevelopment conference or something. And so he really wanted to go. So we went. It was interesting. So anyway, let's move on. Yeah, so just get you some new friends, girlfriend. This is question 15. Female 225 from Lincoln, Nebraska. I think I know the answer, but I'm writing to see how you would react if a guy friend sent you a GIF of a guy making a hand motion of groping and squeezing a woman's chest. Let me think. How long would I cuss him out? Okay. I'm 24 and he's 27, so it's not like we're teeny boppers or anything. I have to say, my initial reaction was complete disgust. I didn't even know how to respond. I told him that I thought he was cool and I would tell him nicely that this was not okay. Basically said he was just joking around. I told him I didn't know what to say to him. I stopped messaging him. He apologized, but weeks later, he admitted that he sent me a gif of feet walking on eggshells. I forgave him, but even after I was joking, saying I wouldn't tell him something, and he randomly spammed me with the same gif. So now what do I do? What do I say to his dusty ass? This is what you do. You go on your phone and you go in or you go on the website of your carrier and they have this thing where it says block this caller and you press that button and then you save. That's what you do. So he can't call you and he can't text you anymore. Then you go on your email. Hopefully you have Gmail because they have the very best spam and blocking features I have ever seen on an email account. And you activate block. And you send it to the spam folder and then you can set it up so that your spam folder deletes everything in there every 24 hours, 10 hours, every day, once a week, whatever you want to do. You set that up. And then his shit will go to the spam folder and it will get deleted. You will never have to see it ever again. That's what you do. Because this guy I don't know what kind of disrespectful jerk he is, but you call him a friend. He's not your friend. He's totally disrespecting you and he's doing it intentionally and repeatedly. Okay. So what you do is get rid of him. Lee, I'm glad you think it's so funny. Yeah, they always do say they joke. It's just a joke. So they can do it and then try to make it be your fault that you react with disgust at his behavior. See, you should find a GIF where it shows a woman shooting a man in the face. That's what you need to do. And shoot it where she's saying, you stupid asshole. That's what you need to find. Or if you know somebody who can make that GIF, be sure to send it to me after you get it because I want to use it too. But you send him that, then you block him. So he would get the message. If I could only do that to you, that would be so great. Yes, Michelle. I'll be, first I had a black one, but it didn't really show up. So then I had to make it white and that one shows up better. Okay. Question 16. Everybody listening, we got 25 questions. This is question number 16 of the night. If you want to send your advice question in for a future show, please look in the show description down below and click the link, fill out the form, and send in your question. Okay, this is from a young lady in the 21 to 26 age group from San Diego, California. Hi, Deb. Love your videos and advice. You are so funny and helpful. Thank you for what you do. Yes. I have a situation I hope you can advise me on pertaining to a guy and my ex-best friend from the past. We're 22 now. The first year of high school, my best friend since middle school and I still talk. Okay, she didn't put enough periods and commas in here or something. And I still talk, but still make friends separately. My friend group included this guy. He talked to me a lot, walked me to class. He was the only other Bulgarian I met at the school, and he was my friend who stuck around for me. What? I thought he had a crush on me, but he didn't ask me for my number. He asked my best friend for my number. I was really happy my friend was talking to me in school, but she always came around when this guy was near. She invited herself if he asked me to go out trying to compete with me, but I didn't want him. Her friend group would go up to him and whisper stuff while pointing at me. Asked my best friend if she liked him, why she was only around for him. She said she didn't have feelings for him and didn't know why her friends were calling me. The guy was texting me a lot asking to go out, but I wasn't feeling it. She kept grabbing him when I was around in school. He liked this attention, calling himself a man who got all the bitches. Oh. His friends pushed him into me and teased him, but I cut him out because I'm not into no love triangle shit. Wow, and you in the 21, you must be 21. Why did I stay friends with that best friend? I don't know. She would tell me about her pursuits of the guy, but make fun of me. She was happy she got the prize. She told me she had to ask him out. And she didn't like that he always wanted to have eggplant, but she did stuff with him anyway, trying to turn a hookup into a relationship. She cut me off when they finally got together, but copied my appearance. She was always chasing his ass. But my other friends kept seeing him on Tinder. I see the two of them around where I live. They giggle as they walk, whispering and staring me down. But they never did that in school. Another time he's alone in his car at a stop and he starts pointing and laughing at me, losing it. Then I saw them recently and they're standing in the corner of my street and he's laughing almost on the damn floor. It's so often I see him around, but he lives far from me every time he's coming close to me and laughing or smiling. I don't react when I see them. What is their problem? What's so funny? Nothing. Nothing. They're being very juvenile and childish. Just think back to grade school, like when you were 8 and the little boy would come and pull your hair and then run away and laugh when you started crying and stuff because he wanted your attention. And they don't know how to get your attention in a positive way, so they get your attention in a negative way. And they don't really care that it's a negative way. They just want to get your attention. I got the question, Camille. Don't worry. She so what you have here is, she's doing anything that he wants her to do because she's still, trying to win his approval. So he wants to laugh at you and stalk you and be around where he knows you're going to be all the time, even though he lives in a different area now. That should tell her something. Whatever candle he had burning for you in his little high school age heart, he still has it. I done told you, men don't never get over their first love. Just never. Especially when it's some unrequited shit or he messed it up himself because he should have, kept pursuing you instead of dipping off with this other girl. But, she threw herself at him, and so that's what he did. So now he's probably regretting it because he realizes that ruined absolutely any chance he would ever have of getting with you. Had he just stayed the course, he might have had a chance. You might have at least went out with him, when you got older. But, he's fucked that up. And so now he's embarrassed and he feels stupid. So what he does is acts this very juvenile way, pointing at you and laughing at you and stuff to try to make himself feel better for getting rejected. So he's trying to hurt you in return. So all that talking I just did just basically explains what he did. He just wants to hurt your feelings like he feels like you hurt his by rejecting him. So he's trying to make you feel like, you're under a microscope and he's criticizing you and rejecting you or something like that. So, how would you handle this? You don't react, and that's exactly what you do. Don't feed into it. Just look at them quizzically, like how puppies turn their head and they do like this, and they be looking at you all kind of sideways while they cock their little head and they be looking at you confused. You do something like that to him, and you don't smile, you don't say a word. Just you don't even have to change your expression. Just look at them. Just do the puppy face. And they have a lot of those videos on YouTube where they show the dog, like the people are talking and the little dog is going like this. So you just mimic that, and then get good at that. And then when you see them, that's what you do. Okay. Let's move on. Question number 17. This is a female, 26 to 29, from San Bernardino, California. Deb, I was sexting with this new guy. I was considering seeing, using only words. I did not send pictures. He did, however. Now, he is a decent looking, tall, fit guy and seems to be a nice person. but I've been getting the impression that he is a bit sloppy and maybe even unhygienic. So as we are texting, he sends me a sexy pic at my request. I notice he is laying under sheets. And Deb, I notice what looks like a dried booger. Oh, what looks like a dried booger on his sheet. I was immediately turned off. This happened last night, and I'm skeptical to even test him. Text him back without telling him he needs to wash his damn sheets. Maybe it seems over the top, but I'm a huge germaphobe. Any advice? And then text him back and say, "Yo, what's up, booger boy?" I'm sorry, this shit is hilarious. Oh my God, I got tears coming out of my eyes. This is too funny. Oh, Sean, you ought to know better than to eat while you watching this crazy ass show. Come on now. You should know. Put your food in the refrigerator while you watch this show. This show. Don't do that to yourself. You'll be throwing up all of your keyboard. But girl, he might be decent looking, tall and fit and all that kind of stuff. But so was the dude I went out with on Saturday. All of that. Plus made a lot of money and all that kind of stuff too. Guess what? He's still in the wind. And that's where you need to put this dude right here too. Let them fly. That's like Booger Boy. Oh my God, isn't that nasty? You know how some people do, and I've seen men do this right. They do it on the street. They hold one nostril and they just shoot out all of the snot or whatever, and then they do the other one, and then they wipe on their hand, and then they wipe it on their clothes, or they wipe. I saw this dude wiping on a pole on a BART train one time. That's when I started going. When I was on BART, after that, I wore rubber gloves, and when I got off, I would throw them bad boys in the garbage can. I got a 3-pack of them at Costco, or was it 6? But anyway, I have rubber gloves up the yin yang. I'm telling you. I'm just telling you. They call it a snot rocket. You know what? Y'all be teaching me stuff I really did not even know that I didn't want to know. Let me just put it that way. Yes, honey, that is hilarious, girlfriend. But yeah, you just gotta just tell him, oh, I met somebody or whatever you want to say. But yes, no booger bears here. We're not interested in all of that. That is too funny. What did Keith say? I could just say I missed it. Hold on, y'all. I got to scroll up. Keith is stupid. Nah, because if that's on the sheet and it's that visible, that means he probably got some shit on the sheet part where you would be laying down and then suddenly you feel something crunching against your skin, dried up boogers crunching. Oh my God. I would just want to die. That's just the visual of that. Oh, I just can't. Now get rid of this fool. Whew, that was the best letter. Yes, they do that, Diana, because I grew up in the city. That's where I used to see that shit all the time. Downtown on Market Street, all over. Question number 18, female 30 to 35 from New York, New York. I just left my fiance. I caught him with his ex-wife. I mean, in the act with her. What? They have a son and divorced 4 years ago. We live in New York and she lives in Washington, D.C. She was in town for a celebration for their son. I was away for the weekend, but I decided to return early and surprise him. But I got the surprise because I caught them in his apartment in bed. He and I have not lived together before marriage. We've been together for 2 years. We never had a problem. Great conversation, no fights. We were so in love, so close, best friends, I dare to say. I was sobbing when he showed up at my place, and I don't know if I got my point across. I told him I never want to see him again. I gave him his ring back. I wasn't mean or harsh. I think that I handled it well. Do you? He is apologizing profusely. He's calling and texting. He was at my door begging to talk, but I can't. I feel uncomfortable with him pressing me. Today I had to make a quick run to Gristedes. Okay, I don't know how you pronounce that. A local market. He shows up and corners me. I think he is following me. He wouldn't let me go, pressing up against me until I agreed to speak with him. I agreed to meet him tomorrow, but I'm not. I am nervous about his erratic behavior. I love him. He's a good man. He's a great lawyer at a big firm in Manhattan, so I don't think he would do anything stupid to jeopardize his career. I'm not saying he is dangerous, but I decided to send in this letter because at the suggestion of a friend. She thinks his behavior is scary. I think he's upset. I haven't heard him out. He keeps saying he doesn't know why he did it. It only happened once. He hasn't seen her in years. Maybe he's still in love with her. I need advice on how to handle this respectfully. I do not like fights or confrontations, and I don't want to disrespect him. But maybe it was a slip. Maybe he's sorry and remorseful. But I can't forgive this. I was cheated on before. I had trust issues. I can't go into marriage with trust issues. At this moment, his friend is texting me, asking me to please see them, that he is losing his mind. He's not okay. I also know people are so extreme these days. I don't want to anger him. I don't want him to come here and a fight ensues and he hurt me. I don't know. Maybe I'm overreacting because I'm just so sad. I'm literally in shock. My heart is broken and I feel like I'm losing my mind. I can't believe he hurt me like this. What should I do? You should, tell his friend that he should leave you alone. Tell him to leave you alone because he has a lot to lose if you get the police involved because he's stalking and harassing you. Tell him to just leave you alone and go over there and fuck that bitch since he liked that so much. When he thought you was out of town, he was just having himself a good old time. All up in his house, not even the decency to go to a hotel or some neutral territory. He gonna bring him in his house and put in the same bed that he sleeps in with you. Well, because he's a lawyer, because he has a lot to lose now. If he's a partner at a big firm and they find out that he's stalking somebody and she's got proof, that's not going that he could lose his job for that. So that's why I would remind him, you have a lot to lose. I suggest you leave me alone. Tell his friend to tell him that. And say, go over there. You didn't have no problem with fucking that bitch. So you go continue to do that. And leave me the fuck alone. I'm not going to marry you. I'm not going to date you. I don't want to date or marry somebody who lies to me and cheats on me like he did. Totally disrespectful, totally a liar and a cheat. And I don't want a man like that. Yeah, your best bet too would, I don't know what your situation is, but your best bet would be to go to the other side of the country for a minute. Like if you could do it for a couple of months and, stay with some friends or something, rent a room somebody. So you in New York, come out here, go to like LA or something. You can get lost there real easy. Don't use any credit cards, only use cash. Take your money out the bank so he can't track you. He's an attorney. Most of those big law firms like that have private investigators. So you have somebody, I don't know how you're going to get out here without using your name, but there has to be a way to do that. And so that you leave like no trace of where you are. You leave your cell phone there in New York, write any numbers down that you need. When you get to California, you get you a burner phone and then you use that to call people and you change your burner phone every, I don't know, whatever. Don't don't call your mom. Don't call nobody who knows him, who he could be tracking. Disappear. Because a man like this, he's powerful. He's got money. And he sounds like he's losing it because he knows he's fucked up and he's trying to, he has the potential to be violent. So you need to be somewhere where he can't get to you. That would be my suggestion. So I don't know who you know. Somebody who's got a place like a timeshare, or you get somebody who's got, I don't know, a beach house somewhere where you could go and be undisturbed and under the radar till he calms down. That would be my suggestion. Question number 19. This is a female in the 30 to 35 age group from Santa Ana, California. My friend recently separated from her long-term partner with whom she has kids. They are both around my age, mid-30s. Her ex is attractive, has a good job, he's a good dad, very trustworthy and kind. However, their relationship fizzled out to a point where it had no chemistry. They never spoke, nor had eggplant, despite living together and were only together for the kids. Anyway, she has a new man now. However, he is very old, short, unattractive, drinks, smokes, does illegal pharmaceuticals, and suffers from major depression and takes various prescription things. I admit some of my judgments are shallow, but she's only known this guy for a few weeks. Okay, and she has kids. How can she be willing to overlook so many of these characteristics in a potential long term partner? Her response is that they have chemistry. We have just found out, too, that he cheated on her and lied about it. Yes, only 2 weeks in. The evidence is overwhelming. This seemed to be a thing that finally got her to question her choices, yet she still hasn't ended it and is willing to talk it out with this clown. Seriously, can you help me understand this? I don't understand what's driving her decisions. I asked her if she is lonely or afraid to be alone, and she says no. Her ex also appears to have stepped up his game and is being supportive. She is attractive and has options, so it's not like she has to settle for this disgusting man. What is going on with my friend? How could I support her doing whatever she is going through? And finally, how do you see this playing out? It sounds to me like she's stigmatized. She's stigmatized. She got some of that thing, and she don't know what to do with herself. That's what it sounds like to me, because dude ain't about shit. Okay? There's nothing else. It has to be that. So you know what that means? That means that this man that you find so attractive, who's a good father and all these other wonderful things, he ain't putting it down. He's not putting it down. She's in her mid-30s. She needs some of that thing, that thing, and she needed good and long and yeah, all that. And he ain't delivering, obviously. So what you need to do is appeal to her mothering instinct. Tell her that this man, such a man like this, is a bad influence over her children, and that her children will see this kind of behavior and think that's okay. Tell her that she needs to think about them, and not only that, not only what kind of impact this guy's going to have on the kids, what kind of weird proclivities he might have, which is why he wants to be around a woman with some young children. You know, you don't have to say it, but just definitely allude to it. Put that bug in her head. Especially you want to spend a lot of time at her house, right? So all in all, it has to be that thing, you know, that thing. That's what that is. And so just ask her that. Is it the eggplant? Is it like really super large and he's like super lasts a long time? I mean, what's going on here? You know, a lot of women just live their lives with some very unsatisfactory, intimate life, and they don't know any better because, you know, they don't have that much experience. And then they get it good and they just lose their damn minds. And they would just take anything, do anything, have a man treat them any old kind of way just because of that thing. Yeah, I love Lauryn Hill too. I hate that she got involved with that idiot, but that always seems to be the thing that happens to young girls. Yep, they just get digmatized and they just go crazy. But see, my thing is this: I've never been digmatized. You know why I never been digmatized? Because my thing is, even if it's really, I mean, just okay, it's good, you know, and then the next one after that was better, and then the one after that was like, oh my god, and the one after that was like, and the one after that was like, you know what I mean? So it's like it keeps getting better. And so I'm like, why should I stop now? Why would I get sprung over this when I could have like the sun, the moon, and the stars? You just giving up stars. Dude over there just giving up the moon. Well, I want all of the above. That's who I'm looking for. Now, when I find that, I might get stigmatized. But right about, you know, it's like each one is better than the last. I think as I get older, you know what I mean? You know what to do more. You know what you like more. And then the men are also older and know what to do more. So it becomes a wonderful thing. But I'm just like, you know, that's why I'm so disappointed about dude on Saturday, because he was fine. I was like, but you know, he talked his way out of everything. That just was not going to work. But you know, but I did have designs until he opened his mouth. Honestly, if he had just shut up and just sat there and looked pretty, I might have been on here on Sunday with all kind of smiles, like, oh, y'all, wait, y'all, let me just tell you. It'd be like that girl in Young Frankenstein. Remember Madeline Kahn in Young Frankenstein, how after she slept with Frankenstein, how she was like, Oh, and she was hitting all them high notes. See, that would have been me on Sunday. But alas, that didn't happen. So anyway, let me swallow my disappointment. But anyway, that's what's going on with her. So you just remind you take that path, try the kids angle, and see if and see if that helps her see the light. I'm just acting stupid. But I'm telling you, dude was just oof. He just if he had just shut up, it could have been good. At least for, 30 minutes. Just don't say anything. Just lay there. Yeah, don't say nothing. Cause you when you open your mouth, bad things happen. Question number 20, female, 21 to 25 from Bristol, England in the UK. I don't know. I'm in a mood today. I invited a guy over who I've been texting and flirting with big time to hang out. Due to our flirting and what I perceived as tension and chemistry, I just assumed that we would at least kiss. Broad assumption, I'm sure, but it just felt like that's where we were. We just talked for a while and then he left. It wasn't awkward. It was our first time hanging out without our friend group, but it also wasn't flirty or anything. Was he just being a gentleman, or am I imagining his interest in the possible chemistry? He also showed me pictures and brings up girls he finds attractive. Oh, really? Which he's done a few times before. I don't know if he's bragging or trying to tell me he's not interested in me. It's confusing me because he does send signals that he likes me, so far as saying things to friends about liking me, texting me often, offering to help me with things, etc. I seriously don't know what to think now. Let me tell you what he is. This is an insecure little fucker. See, when they do this kind of stuff, what they want you to do is perceive him as a catch, right? So he's going to show you all these women that he likes attractive. So you put yourself in a position of trying to compete with these women that he don't even know because there's some shit he found on the internet, some damn where, social media. And so you're supposed to, this is the game, right? You're supposed to look at those pictures and say, oh no, he likes women who look like that. I don't look like that. I need to lose weight. I need to dye my hair. I need a boob job. I need a padded bra. I don't feel good about myself. I feel like I'm not good enough. I'm lacking. I have to earn his love. I have to go through hoops and jump through over rivers and bound over tall buildings in a single leap. I have to do all that because he's so wonderful and he could have anyone. That's what he wants you to think. So, you were supposed to be looking at that and you were supposed to feel competitive, right? So you were supposed to jump on him and you were supposed to be the aggressor. That's the setup in a situation like this. But you not knowing that didn't, it's not like you didn't fall for it because you didn't even know what the game was that he was playing. So you just innocently, having a visit. And so, but in his mind, he had this whole script that you were supposed to be executing and then you didn't do it. And so he just left because he just felt like either A, you wasn't really attracted to him, or B, you didn't get it and he wasn't about to, change his modus operandi to where he seduced you, because then that would be work. See, and the way that these kind of dudes do things, they always want the woman to chase them. They want to feel like they're desired, like they're the shit, like they're such a stud muffin that, all these women are after them. All these women are calling them. All these women want them. They're in such demand. He's trying to build his ego up that kind of way. That's what he's trying to do. What did Keith say? But this is just like, The other option is too that, maybe he just really didn't want to do it because he has a small eggplant and he's scared. He's scared you would look at it and say, well, where's the rest of it? Or I wasted all my time being trying to get this. You could take that and go home. You and the rest of your Lincoln Log toys. Shit. I don't know, but it's going to be one of those. He just got a little one and he was scared, or, like I said, it was that game and you didn't play your role, and I think it's that one. Number 21, female, 26 to 29 from Jersey City, New Jersey. I've been with my husband for 4 years. We've been married for 2. He is the only person I have ever dated, kissed, or had eggplant with. Ooh, girl. Recently, I've been having feelings for a good friend of mine who I didn't meet until after I started dating my now husband. I don't think this friend has any idea about my feelings for him. I love my husband, I really do, and we get along great. He makes me laugh and he loves me so much and treats me well. However, we have differing viewpoints on some major things like politics, religion, or raising children. Oh, those are big, especially the raising kids part. I didn't even think this was a problem for me until these recent feelings for my friend developed, and now I'm questioning everything. My friend and I don't only agree on all major things, we have so many small things in common as well. I can't help but think that if I had met this friend first, that he would be my husband now. But I guess my question is less about this specific guy and more generally, how do I know I married the right guy? I've never dated anyone more than other than my husband, and sometimes I wish I did. Even if it meant that I would end up married to him at the end, I would at least know. I wish I could have been single a few years more to try to figure everything out, but now I feel stuck in this marriage as good as it is. Am I just being an asshole and not being grateful for what I have? How do I deal with these feelings for another man? Any help clarifying my ramblings would be appreciated. Oh, yes, this is the danger of settling for the first thing that comes along. A lot of women do that because they grew up in this good girl mentality where they don't want to, they don't want the world to perceive them as a garden tool. And so they sleep with a guy and then they just feel like, well, I have to marry him now because we had eggplant. And I don't want to be, perceived as being a garden tool. And it's very unfortunate. I mean, this attitude I think was a lot more common when I was young than it is now, but it is still prevalent, especially in very religious cultures. So I'm gonna say this. What you might need to do is get yourself some counseling because no matter what decision you make, whether you decide to stay in this marriage, whether you decide to leave it, I'm not saying you would necessarily be with this particular guy, but there's something if you don't get answers to these questions that are bothering you about the fact that you're married to this man and how you feel unsettled about the decision, you need to get clear on that. Now, at the end of being clear on that, you might decide to stay in the marriage and you'll feel okay about the decision that you made because you've worked through all of this. On the other hand, you might work through it and decide, that this was a bad mistake, this was a bad decision, and that there's someone who's better, even though he's great, he's wonderful, there's someone who's better out there for you. So, I can't make that decision for you. All I can advocate that you do is be really okay with whatever path you decide to take. And from here, I can't, really help you with that. This is not the format for that kind of thing. You should go and see a therapist so you can talk this out and you and that therapist together can work through whatever it is you think you're missing, what you would like to see change in your relationship, what you would like to see change in yourself. Because sometimes it's like we look at our marriage as being unsatisfactory when we're really unsatisfied with ourselves. There's something that you might want to do different, better, more of. Go back to school, develop a hobby or interest, fulfill yourself in some other way besides looking at a man and a marriage to do it. You see what I'm saying here? So that's my number one suggestion so that no matter what decision you decide to make, ultimately you will be okay with it. You'll feel good about it. You would have given it a lot of thought, mature analysis, and then act it. So I don't want you flying off the handle and just reacting emotionally without having really thought this through. You've been with him for 4 years. He's the only man you've ever dealt with. I would never recommend that because see, me is like, you got to know. I mean, how you know that the dick is good unless you sample a couple of them? You got to compare. That's cooter, Cooter. But I don't know. This is a very difficult and challenging thing. But like I said, get clear on it. Where's your source of dissatisfaction? Is it really the marriage, or are you dissatisfied with some aspect of yourself? So get clear on that before you act, okay? Because I don't want you to regret it later. Question 22, female, 26 to 29 from Atlanta, Georgia. Deb, she says with a whole bunch of exclamation marks. I need help desperately. I'm writing this on Labor Day, hoping it makes the column tomorrow. Oh, and it did. My boyfriend just tried to kill me, and I'm not sure why or what is going on. I don't mean to laugh, but that caught me so off guard. This happened less than an hour ago, and I'm still shocked. I'm sitting on my living room floor in silence. I have no idea what happened. I asked him how he liked the grilled cheese sandwich I made for him last night, and he attacked me, screaming and calling me a liar. He insisted I was lying about two exes that I have. I don't talk to these exes. One moved out of state 4 years ago. The other, who came after that, moved out and went to Miami over a year ago. This most recent now ex-boyfriend and I have only been together for a few months. So he's trying to he's doing all of this and you only been with him for a few months? And at no point during that time was I contacting either one of my prior exes. But he said I was lying about them, refused to tell me what the lie was or when I told it or anything. He grabbed my phone and threw it while pinning me down by my throat with his forearm. He then used his free hand to punch me in the face before grabbing my throat with his hand and still pinning me down by the throat with his forearm. So he was pushing on the front with his arm and pressing on the sides with his hand. I begged for him to stop, and he hit me and told me to shut up, and then I deserved what was about to happen. It scared the fuck out of me. The second he let go long enough for me to inhale, I yelled for help because I knew the downstairs tenant could hear, and he ran out of my apartment as fast as he could, yelling, "You're a liar, and I bet you're going to lie and tell people I hurt you." He texted me afterwards telling me I fucked up by calling for help because I embarrassed him, and now he's going to get me back. I don't know what to do. He left and went home, but I live alone and I'm scared. My throat is all bruised up, badly enough that it looks like he punched it rather than pressed it, strangled it. He was my go-to person. If I was happy, I called him, said I called him, excited, and all I wanted to do was share it with him. This happened, and my instinct is to call him about it. And obviously, I can't. I don't know what to do. You stupid as hell. Okay? Now, I know you just went through this. And the fact that you took the time to write all this goddamn fucking shit to me instead of calling the police on his nigga ass, what is wrong with you? The second he left your apartment, you should have been calling 911. Okay, that's what you should have done. And while the bruises and all the stuff is still fresh on your neck, the police would take pictures of it and they would get his ass locked up under domestic violence. You've only been dating for a couple of months, so for all you know, he already has a record. Because this sounds like somebody with a track record of violence against women. You don't just flip out like this and go to this extreme because somebody asked you about a sandwich. This dude has got some mental issues and he's straight off his fucking rocker. You take your happy ass to the police station and you file a charge on him and you do it right now. The police stations are open 24 hours. You go down there and you have them take pictures of that shit, give him his name, give him his address, and tell them what happened. Your neighbor downstairs can be contacted as a witness for you screaming for help. Okay? Get this monkey locked up. Now, while he's locked up, you are going to move. Your best bet would be to move the fuck up out of Atlanta. Okay? I don't know where you going to go, but you need to be the fuck up out of there. Okay? That's what you need to do. The second thing you need to do is stop letting motherfuckers move into your house. That's your house. Okay? If he's not man enough to provide a roof over your head, he don't live where you live. You say this one has his own place, but these other two you had was living with two different dudes. What was wrong with you in your house so that they had to move out of your spot? You know, there's some really interesting decisions going on here. I'm not trying to blame you for this violence situation, but I'm saying, you know, you're making some weird choices and making some weird decisions about how you handle them. I don't want you to do this anymore. And I want you to get your ass down to the police station and file a report on him right away. Nobody should be treated like this. I don't care what you said to him. I don't care what you did. For him to treat you like that, he could have, you said he tried to he could have. You could have crushed this bone here and you would have never breathed another time again. You don't realize how close to dying you were. Take your ass to the police station. Now, all these people talking about, well, you know, I don't want to get another brother locked up. I'm like, oh no. I want him locked up, and don't have me call some of my thug friends and plant some drugs on him and lock his ass up. He'll be locked up for 25 years, 25 to life. That's the way that would go down. I'd be like, this is his house right over there. Go in there and break in and put this in there. So when the police come, they're going to get him on a drug charge. Don't fuck with me. It's like, I will buy it. I will pay for it. You go in there, I don't know what kind of amount you need to make it be a big case. Whatever that is, I will go get it out of my savings account and pay for it. You go buy it and you put it in his apartment so I can fuck him up. It'd be money worth spent. Well spent. If I was happy, I called him. How you gonna be doing all that and you only just got with him for a couple of months and you depended on him like that? See what I mean? Where's your life for you? You better start working on this. You need to see a counselor, young lady. There's something going on with you where you chose this kind of man and then you just instantly all depended on him and everything. That just doesn't make any sense to me. You know some folks can give me a discount. I'm trying to tell you. I would be like, dude, let me see how I can fuck you up right quick. I'm telling you, petty. I'm like the queen of petty. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you did that to me, but let me show you what I'm going to do to you. And then I'm going to call my thug cousins and be like, okay, who you know that's in such and such a prison? Oh, I know so-and-so and so-and-so and, D-Ray and, B-Boy, they in there too. I said, are they built up and stuff? Are they, thug like? What's going on? This motherfucker about to come up in there. I want you to fuck him up. Well, he get himself locked up, but I don't want to wait for that. I don't want to wait for that. People be like, oh, karma will get him. No, 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 no. Deb is going to get you. Karma, that moves too slow. I want immediate results. I need instant gratification. I need that shit to be on the news tomorrow. That's what I'm looking for. I'm waiting 20 years for some damn karma. I don't believe in all that shit anyway. Fuck that. I'm karma. Okay, I'm going to change my name to Karma Cooper. How about we do that? Question number 23. This is a male, 26 to 29, Seattle, Washington. I need suggestions on how to best approach my girlfriend about her lack of common courtesy. She is 22 and I'm 26. We have been going out for nearly 2 years, so this is not a new problem. This stuff has been bothering me for a long time, and I've been unable to have a civil conversation about it. Some of the things she does that bother me, smoking in non-smoking areas and getting angry when people want to make a complaint against her. When coming to my place, ringing the old door phone at 3 to 4 a.m. on weekdays that can be heard in the entire building. When I multiple times asked just to call or text me or let herself in with the key I gave her. Loud shoes and foods in study hall and library buildings at the university. Wow. Her response is that if people shouldn't do it, then it should be illegal or that they should simply move or go elsewhere instead of following the written and unwritten rules that allow everyone to feel comfortable, undisturbed, and respected in their place of work and at home. How do I make her understand that that isn't a viable solution and that you need to show respect to the people around you and consider what environment you're in? I've tried to talk to her, but I'm unable to explain the situation to her using logic and what I consider common sense. I've begun to question if I'm being too strict and too easily bothered by all these small things. How do you suggest I approach her about this and make her understand why I told her these things and why she should be considered towards other people around her? Sir, you are, hold on a second. I'm sorry, wrong letter. You are 26 and she's 22. She's 22 and she is this stupid. This is what you do, sir. You go to her and say, I cannot be with someone like you. You are a menace to society. You have no respect for other people. You have no respect for social mores. You have no respect for rules and policies that are put in place to protect people. You have no respect for me. You have no respect for my neighbors. You just do what the fuck you want to do. So I'm about to do what I want to do, which is get rid of your dumb ass. That's what I'm going to do. So I don't want you to call me anymore. Don't you look for me. Don't you text me. Don't you send me a smoke signal. Don't you send me a carrier pigeon. Don't you send me a paper airplane with a message on it. Don't you send me a message in a bottle. Don't you send me nothing. I want you to stay the fuck away from me. Because there's something wrong with you. You're a fucking sociopath. And I don't want to be bothered with you. Now, you may feel like, oh, but I love her, though. I'm telling you, you are in love with somebody who's a sociopath. That girl has all the traits, her total narcissism about how she's going to treat other people and how they just have to deal with it. And you want to love that? Why don't you find somebody who's normal and healthy to love? Someone who's going to respect you and the people that you live around and just other people in general. You're trying to raise an adult. She's 22 years old. She's grown. There's nothing you can do with that. If her parents didn't teach it to her and she's not trying to learn it on her own, then she's a lost cause. Okay, write this up and move on. She's lucky I don't live there because I would be outside beating her ass and cussing her out. If she's smoking in the non-smoking area, I've been known to walk up to people and snatch the cigarette. It's done, put it out. It's like, this is a non-smoking area, bitch. What the fuck? And so they, it's people, it's always white people. And they just, them little Karen types. And they want to get all irate and stuff. But I'm like, you can talk as much shit as you want to, but don't you fire up another cigarette or you're going to have a problem. And I'm not beyond beating your ass. So is that what you want? You lucky she hasn't run into someone like me. Because she would have got her teeth knocked out trying to get sassy and tell somebody what she's going to do. And I'm ringing the doorbell and doing all that shit at 3 or 4 a.m. I would have walked out there and dragged her ass right back outside and told her not to ever come in there and filed a restraining order to keep her from coming up in the building because she don't live there. She's not on the lease, but she disturbing everybody in the fucking building. Oh, no, honey, you wouldn't be able to have her at your house. You would have to go to hers. That's how we would have done that. You know what I mean? You dealing with a fool, dude. This chick is a lost cause. Get rid of her. She's not showing she's not showing you any respect either. Bringing your doorbell like that, disturbing all your neighbors, and you ain't doing shit about it. With a milquetoast ass motherfucker. Question number 24, male, 36 to 40 from Los Angeles. Me and my ex split up semi-recently after a year plus together. She's 32, I'm 36. We were, quote, working on things or whatever that bullshit was to get things going again, but it more or less felt like we were still together, but she didn't want to put a title on it. That's because she was on her way out. I've done that. Well, recently she decided to purchase a newer car. I encouraged her to go for it because honestly, I wanted to see her do something nice for herself and told her I would make payments on it in spite of what happened between us. I had every intention of doing just that up until last week. She's been so rude, calling me names, being real distant, etc. Every time we speak, she mentions how she's either getting her hair and nails done, etc. It started to leave a really bad taste in my mouth. She didn't even say thank you when I gave her the car payment this month. She purchased this expensive ass car with the expectations of me making payments and helping her pay for it. But now I'm not so sure that I want to, based on how she's treating me and talking to me like I'm trash. So Deb and ladies of the squad, what do you suggest I do? He says. Do I continue to make payments on a car for a woman that I'm starting to dislike as a person or walk away? Remember, I have no legal responsibility to do anything for her. No contract or payment agreement was signed, and all this agreeing stuff took place orally, so there is nothing written. Oh, okay. Nothing written? You sure? I mean, really think back. You didn't send any text. She didn't send you any text asking for, not just asking for money, but where you made assurances that you would help her pay for it or something like that. Not like he can really hold you for it, but I'm just wanting to check, make sure. Okay. Because if you're positive that there's absolutely nothing she could even try to wrangle you about in court, not that she would be successful, but she could, try to wrangle you, then what I would say is just stop talking to her. Or if you want to do it the polite way, you could give her, say, 2 months a car note, 3 months at the most, and say, this is all I'm going to pay. I'm not going to pay any more since we're broken up now. I just don't want to leave you hanging. So I'm going to give you this. But since we're broken up, and that's what you want to keep saying in the text or email or whatever you send, since we're no longer a couple, I feel no obligation to help you as my girlfriend because you're not my girlfriend anymore. You see what I'm doing? I keep repeating that and setting that up. Like your only responsibility and association with her and the reason why you agreed to help her because you all was a couple. Other than that, she's just some bitch on the street. And you're not going to be walking around just some random hoe and just giving her your money. So this is the kind of thing you have to establish that she's just a random hoe now. And that's how you're going to do it by this way that I'm telling you to communicate to her via text. So you don't say, I don't want to be a total asshole. And since you did kind of mean something to me for that time period, I'm going to do this as a favor to you. Not like I'm obligated to, just as a favor. So I want you to listen to what I'm saying, and I want you to put it in your own words, but you make sure that you include all these elements in your text. And then you say, I'm going to forward you a money order or whatever you're going to do for 2 months of the car note. And that'll give you time to figure out what you're going to do with the vehicle. If you're going to keep it, sell it, get a second job to pay for it yourself. I don't know what you're going to do. But since we're broken up, so you said it about 99 times, and you're no longer my girlfriend, I feel no further obligation to be nice to you or to help you out financially or emotionally or in any other way. And so, but it's been nice knowing you and I wish you well. Ta ta. Well, I don't know he agreed to it, but it's nice that a guy's going to help his lady get a better car. Shit, I wish I would have had a man help me get a better car when I just had to go spend $1,000 fixing my bucket. But it's like, he's not obligated to. He was just doing that out of kindness of his heart. And she's not showing any gratitude. She's calling him names and stuff. She just feeling entitled. But maybe she already got somebody else on the hook to take over where you left off. So maybe that's why she don't feel too, bothered about it. Whatever it is, you cover your ass and send her the text, like I said, that specifies all the, ramifications of your relationship. And then you just move on. Okay, let's move on. And this is our last question. Oh my God, it looks long as hell. Oh my God, this lady. Okay, well, this is our last question of the night. Question number 25 for What the Fuck Tuesday of September 7th, 2021. I can't believe it's already September. We'll be back again on Friday in case you are loving this show. We'll be back again on Friday with the Dusty News Network. It's a show where we examine posts, comments, memes, graphics, and that kind of stuff created by crazy people all over the internet. And we analyze their cray and then we drag them. That's what we do. It's a total comedy show. There's nothing serious about it. Well, usually it's nothing serious about it. And it's all user viewer driven. So if you run across something online that you think would be a good thing for the show, it's, take a look at one of the previous broadcasts and get an idea how it works. Just screenshot it and email it to survivingdating@gmail.com. And then we'll see if it fits on the show. Yeah, honey. She's not even a girlfriend no more, Keith. She an ex-girlfriend. They broke up. Okay, here's our last question of the night. This is a female in the 26 to 29 age group from Perth, Australia. I am hoping I don't sound crazy and obsessive, but I'm wondering if this guy is leading me on. I've been seeing him for a little over a month. We spent a lot of time together and spent multiple days in a row together. And within this, a little over a month. Okay, I just want to make sure I read that right. And within this month, we talked about being exclusive, but wanting to go slow. He made it very clear on multiple occasions how much he liked me and that he could see us going somewhere. When we started talking, he was also talking to an old friend back home that was trying to get at him. Now, at the time, I didn't know this was just that I just thought she was a friend. But we met and really hit it off. And at first, he just told me that they were friends. And I didn't care because we only knew each other for a little while. But one night, we were getting ready for bed, and this friend keeps blowing up his phone. Apparently, she was drunk. The first time he answered it while I was in the bathroom and took it outside. He came back in. I was like, gosh, she's crazy and drunk. She's crying and just can't get words out straight. So I just said, okay, not trying to make a big deal. But then she kept blowing up his phone. So he answered again and took it out of the room. At this point, I was confused. Anyway, he comes back into the room and starts off with, I know this seems suspicious and I'm sorry. I know you have questions, so just go ahead and ask them. I didn't really know what to say. Long story short, he had been talking to her, but he didn't know how to tell her that he wasn't interested in her anymore and had met someone else. I told him if he wanted to be with her, then that was fine. No hard feelings. He just said he didn't want her like that. He wanted me. So, okay, then and there, they talked some more. So fast forward to last weekend. We spent 3 days together. It was amazing. We talked really deep personal things and the future and all the things we want to do together. And all of this is in a month, right? Keep that in mind, everyone. I talked to him about how I was scared he was going to get weird while he was gone and come back not wanting me anymore because that happened in the past. And he told me he was nervous I was going to leave him and it was too good to be true. We got really deep into this and he told me he was going to get weird when he was home, But that was only because he would be super busy and barely be on his phone, so I chose to believe him. Oh, I see. So the part I skipped, I guess I shouldn't have skipped. Okay, when we met, he told me he was going to go home for her birthday. But then 2 weeks later, he didn't want to go home, wanted to cancel, but he told his family he was going to go, so he was still going to go. Okay. So he told me he would talk to her while he was gone and he would deal with it. Okay. All right. So he was going to barely be on his phone, he tells her in advance. But I'm on day 7 of 14 of his trip, and he texted me very little since he left. He did call me for 10 minutes the other day while he was driving, and we talked a little, and he joked around. But then after I texted him, he never got back to me until 5 p.m. the next day. And I'm not going to lie, I'm the type of person who would check a snap score, and his will go up a few points while he ignores my message. I know he warned me. I don't know what a snap score is. He warned me about him being weird, but all my trust issues are flaring up. I really like this guy, and we actually click very well. He's been really good at communicating his feelings and what he wants, or so I thought. Deb, should I sit around and trust him when he's back home, or should I just tell him that it's not worth the anxiety of the situation and call him quits? This is the mistake you're making, young lady. This mistake you're making. You just met this man, right? You met this man. You say you met this man, and you've been seeing him for a little over a month. You spend multiple days with this man. You got yourself all involved, all exposing yourself emotionally in just a little over a month, telling this man all kinds of stuff, making plans for the future. He knows he has your nose so open, it's like the Caldecott Tunnel, just both sides open, like trucks, all kind of cars and everything else driving through. That's how open your nose is about a man you have known for a little over a month. The man tells you that this woman's calling him crying and screaming and all the stuff on the phone. He's going back to visit her and stay in town where she is for 2 weeks for her birthday, which is a special occasion. And you don't see where that's a problem. The other thing you don't see is that, you're having like designs on him like he's your man. Like y'all are like a couple. Like this is your boyfriend. Like you have made a commitment to each other. It's not worth it and all this old kind of stuff. You you don't have that kind of situation with this dude. You should have been dating 2 or 3 guys while you was getting to know him. He shouldn't have been spending all that time at your house. All of this stuff, the way you handled this was very, very poor, not in your own best interest. You jumped into something too fast, too soon, with not enough information, overlooking all the red flags that was waving right in your face, and just let him talk you out your drawers and into some stupidity. So now he's not talking to you, and he gave you some song and dance, probably driving from his mother's house to her house, and that's why he talked to you while he was driving. And you're wondering, why this is a problem. You don't understand when some woman is calling your man and he's talking to her outside like that. He's trying to calm her down because she knows that he's cheating on her with you. You don't get that. So I'm going to tell you this, okay? I don't even know where to start. You need to spend some time on this channel looking at the videos about how to vet a man, how to recognize red flags when they're waving you right in your face. What kind of man is sincere? What kind of man is a game player? There's 900 and like almost 50 videos on this channel now that are public. I mean, there's more, but I hid some of them because they were too old. So that 950 videos that you can actually watch. And they're full of information that will help you learn how to date better. Look at the one video called the Spare and a Pair dating program, which explains why when you first meet a guy like this, you don't get in too deep. You should be dating 2 dudes plus the spare, which would be him. He would be the new in the rotation. So it's 3 dudes in your rotation. Do you have to sleep with all of them? Absolutely not. But you should be spending time getting to know all of them so that you can make a smart decision. The instant you cast one off, you get rid of him, and then you bring in a new third one. You bring in what they call it when they go up from the baseball team, from the minors to the majors, whatever that term is, that's what you do with the new person and put them in the new rotation. So until you find one guy who is so stellar, so wonderful, and he thinks the same about you, then y'all become a couple. But until then, you shouldn't be acting like a couple with some guy that you're not a couple with. That's the mistake that a lot of you young girls make. Okay. And then you get yourself in a really bad, really, really, really bad situation. It's very unfortunate. So that's our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming through, sitting in with What the Fuck Tuesday. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, be sure to hit the subscription button and the like before you head up out of here. You know, you can share the video. If not this one of the other 900 and something. There's a lot to choose from. Whatever you think your friends, your family, your social media buddies, your coworkers, whatever you think that they would like or find entertaining or need to know some, so they make better choices about relationships. Feel free to share away. If you don't understand, you don't know what to look for, you have a certain interest, go to the main channel page and you'll see the little search thing. It says search this channel. Type in your keyword like I don't know, how to set boundaries, or is this a good man, or how to break up. I mean, phrases tend to be better search words. And then all the videos that address that topic will pop out. And there's at least 5, 6, 7 videos on every topic that you can imagine. And for most of them, there's way more than that. So you can have a good old time learning about how to be smarter about the people that you allow into your life, how to set boundaries with people, how to have limits for what you give to people, how to treat yourself, how to treat others, and how you have to demand that they treat you. These are all key components to a relationship. And if you don't have those things working, that level of respect, there's no way in this world that you should be letting someone tell you, telling yourself, well, I love him though, or just let him tell you that when he's treating you like you shit on his shoe. That don't work. All right. So you guys, thank you very much. I want to thank everybody for coming, especially my lady boss, Shay the Bay is what I call her, and all the people who showed up tonight to support the channel, to make my Patreon subscribers, and those who make their donations in other ways. We appreciate all of you. So you guys come on back on Friday night for the DNN. I'll see you then, okay? Talk to you later. Bye-bye.